Hello there. This is going to be a general love reading for all signs. Today is September 12th. I did record a reading yesterday on September 11th, and I just haven't uploaded it yet. And I don't know if I'm going to. That reading, we used the coffee cup oracle, and I got the witch, which we talked about in the reading. I felt really strong witch energy coming through. Past lives, right, connected to that. And then in this deck, we got the scale and the heart. So it was very Egyptian weighing of the heart, which if you are unfamiliar with that, you know, the ancient Egyptians believe that in order to go to the afterlife, which was their entire goal. I mean, they made sure to prepare for that. If your heart was heavier than a feather, you didn't go. So it was just interesting. That was the reading. And I don't know, I just haven't felt like I've tried, and then I got distracted, and then there was other things that happened, and then I don't know. So we'll see, okay? But I did record yesterday, last night. All right, here we go. This is the C'est La Vie. I guess I should be using C'est La Vie. Maybe, no. Nope. Why are these messed up? C'est La Vie sitting right here. This is my pink potion oracle. And I did say C'est La Vie. Wow, we have empowerment, self-empowerment, girl power, and head over heels. Someone here is in love with themselves. You know what I mean? Meaning that you have mastered the art of self-love. You are not trying to be somebody that someone else will love, so I'm going to be this version of that for them. This is the type of a feminine who says, this is me, and you gonna like me or you not, but I'm not going to try and morph into something or someone because I feel like you're going to want that instead of who I really am. Because that's the empowerment, isn't it? It's standing in your power. And that's just what it feels like, being in love with yourself, mastering self-love, which is the key to everything. Because this is the point, right? And I've said this for quite a few years, and I say it all the time, that if you don't love you, then you don't know what love really is. Because how the fuck are you going to recognize it if you yourself don't know it firsthand by loving yourself, right? And so how are you going to love someone else if you don't love you? And not only that, you can be really easily sold on fake love and weird shit because you're not anchored in your own self and truth. So you're easily swayed, right? A bitch like this is very heavily, deeply rooted. I mean, you can see her feet are on the ground. Her feet are firmly planted in the ground of who she is, standing in her truth. She's not getting swept up and away with, you know what it reminds me of? And we've talked about this movie recently. Julia Roberts in The Runaway Bride. Isn't that funny too? Because there's shoes right here. And I haven't seen this movie in years, but I do remember the gist of it. That every boyfriend or man she met, she morphed herself into a version of what they would like. So remember, she didn't even know what kind of eggs she liked. Because when she was with so-and-so, she ate scrambled. Her favorite was sunny side up with this one. Poached with that one. She didn't know herself because she never took the time to sit with herself and love up on her. And that's what this is, right? And it's about no longer being a version of someone else's perfect. And that's really fucking powerful. Communication. Career and sentimental. Someone misses you. Okay? This is what the communication could be. This is the reason for the communication, possibly. Because this person says, I miss this person. I'm thinking about them. I'm going to fucking reach out. So there is someone here with some sentimental feelings. And there could be a career connection to that, right? You've met them that way. This is also an extremely powerful, independent feminine. She is a mover and a shaker. She's very, very empowered. Let me tell you a little something. Really high vibe, successful men who are mature emotionally and, you know, got good morals and shit, right? They don't mind a woman who is very independent, right? I think we can all speak from only our own experience. And in the past, when I was with very low vibrational men, they kind of want to keep you close to the chest. And it reminds me of Cyndi Lauper's song. Some men take a beautiful girl and hide her away from the rest of the world. I want to be the one to walk in the sun. Oh, girls. That's why I have that in my profile. I've had it in my profile. I don't have it anymore. The reason I had that Cyndi Lauper line from that song on my bio for years was because I myself was always in the position of being with men that wanted to cage me, right? A man who wanted me to be home because he was insecure. My point is, if you are a very high-powered woman here who wants a career, wants to do these things, this kind of a high vibe man's not going to give a shit. He's going to love that. He's going to be like, wow, look at this bitch, because you can keep up with him. He sees you as an equal. And for most of you, he's going to look up to you, right? Because, wow, he's inspired by this feminine. You get him thinking and dreaming and manifesting. And so this is coming up as a high-powered power couple. And here we have Love Potion. They're enamored by you. They feel like they're under some kind of a spell. Did you put a spell on me? No, I am the spell. I am the spell. They're entranced by you. Oh my God. Okay. Okay, twin flame, walking away, separation. So if you met somebody that you thought had the potential, let's take the 3D label word twin flame off the table. Let's say you met someone and you thought, man, this has a great potential to be somebody that I could like literally grow old with. This connection has separated and you've both taken separate paths. Okay, but I'm going to tell you something right now. We keep getting X marks the spot and crossroads from my midnight hour oracle. And it is because two parallel lines finally end up crossing. But this is about being on your own and finding yourself and them doing the same. Because what is the saying? Go find yourself so you can find me. Secret admirer. First date. Oh my God, and sudden change. Oh, Lord Jesus, this is a power couple. This is the kind of man that wants to see you succeed. He's proud. They're going to be super proud of you. And if you've already met this masculine, he's super proud of you already. Even if he's never communicated this, he's in awe, right? Enamored. He looks up to you. Like he see you making moves and he'd be like, damn, I better get on my shit. And you're feminine and you're motherly and nurturing and smart and fierce. Was it the beginning part of this week or this past weekend? There was one particular reading that the energy came up that they are so into you because you're not like anybody else. You're not one of these people that are, just trying to be the Stepford wife and, you're like a witch is what's coming across. Very spiritual, very different, almost scary different to them. Determined. Holy fuck, that's marriage. It says persistent, still holding on, flowers and gifts. There's the unfinished business. Again, it keeps coming up nonstop. Why is there unfinished business between these two? Because there was some sort of break or separation here. It's not meant to be that way forever. This connection is meant to ripen. Let's use that word. It's meant to ripen and come to fruition in holy matrimony. This masculine is going through something. Could be business and work shit. Oh my God, it literally says chaos, job loss, and everything crumbling. It very well could be the case that they've been stressed out about work or finances. distractions, temptation, always busy, kept you waiting. That's what this was if you were with someone or like had a person that you thought this was going to get somewhere. Is someone here was always busy, but they really were busy. They were always busy and kept you waiting. And there we have it again. Twin flame again. 1111. Mirrors, but polar opposites. Now, we know this to be true. We've felt this for years. That if you feel that you are in the category of some sort of a healer, healers need protectors. Your protector is not going to be someone who has horrible, sickening, restrictive, yikes beliefs. They would if this is a wild, divine, feminine, witchy sort of a person, the feminine is, right? The masculine would be a little more conservative, but not crazy fucking conservative, right? Not one of those, you know what I'm saying? No. And this is the kind of guy that cannot be conned. That's what makes him so good in business. He's very, that's his energy determined. He cannot be conned. Snooping. They could be stalking your social media. That's a secret admirer earlier, right? This masculine here is very he's very intuitive. He's very intuitive, really smart, really intuitive though. It's his intuition. He can smell bullshit a million miles away. He's like a human lie detector. That's why this masculine doesn't get caught up and involved in like a lot of things that people can get caught up and involved in. Okay? Put it this way, he would never be in a cult. Do you know what I mean? He would not, because, you know, people who cannot be easily conned and people who are not easily swayed or really vulnerable to believe just bullshit cannot be conned into shit like that. And this is, well, you want to know the characteristics of this man? This is this man. He cannot be conned. And he's really good at smelling bullshit. The Star and the Page of Cups. This could be friendship because the Star is Aquarius. And Aquarius is all about friendship. We friend zone everybody. It's a tricky part, right? When you're dealing with an Aquarius woman is, well, Aquarius in general, but especially Aquarius women, we tend to come across as we are interested, but we're not. We just fucks with you and we feel a vibe of friendship. With the Wheel of Fortune down here too, there's a lot of fortune here, a lot of abundance coming in. But my point is that this is what they may be nervous about. Is she just being friendly? I don't give a fuck if you have Aquarius in your chart or they do. It doesn't matter. It's the energy of it, right? Are they just being friendly or do they want to ride me all night long? They don't know. I think that they want to take this to the next level, right? The Wheel of Fortune, they want this change to come out of whatever is platonic or business or whatever this is, but maybe I'm reading this wrong because a woman like this is not going to be aggressive and chase them. She's not going to do that. She's going to be herself. And if she vibes with this man and she's feeling the fuck out of him, she's going to put signals out there, but she's not going to be the shark. Because that's not what the feminine does. She's the receiver. But she does have to do her damn job too. Did you do your job? You doing your job? It reminds me of, remember the Titans. You been doing your job? Have you? Have you been open? Have you been receptive? Or have you not? Five of Swords and the Queen of Swords. They're very intimidated by you. See, this is giving Joan of Arc vibes. Joan of Arc spoke her truth. She was someone who they feared because she was a rebel, right? And so you notice that there's a trend in history. A lot of things are wrapped up in religion. That's what happened to the witches, right? All the religious people said, you're a witch, you're evil, you worship Satan. get them. You notice that this has been a common theme throughout history. This is history, this is past, this is not made up and theory. This is facts. Joan of Arc would have been against, I'm not saying that in factual history she was, okay? So don't go digging some shit up from a thesaurus, goddamn encyclopedia to prove me wrong. I'm saying that type of an energy where she was someone who was a fighter and she's a freedom fighter and she spoke her truth and she was out there fighting for freedom and breaking away from whatever. That's that energy, right? This is her fighting against government conformity and fighting against the status quo. That's everything the dark divine feminine is, right? It's Lilith. There was Eve, who was the cookie cutter Stepford wife version of what they felt men should have. But because Lilith was the type to say, I don't fucking think so, boo. No. You're a Lilith, not the Eve, if this is for you, is what I'm trying to say here. This feminine here feels like she's been anointed. And now, because she is anointed, it's almost like her sword is to knight, right? You know, that's what they do, like the British do that, right? They knight somebody. Because real recognize real. It's almost like she is choosing. I feel like some of you feminines, there's something inside of you that's chosen a person, even if you've never met them yet. Which would be why you would reject all of these other people that come across your path. It's like, oh, hell no. Oh, God, no. Because you just feel it. You know it. It's not your husband. It's not your wife. We've got the Hermit here and the Ten of Cups. Hermit is Virgo energy. But this Hermit here is on some sort of a journey. This is solitude. And the Ten of Cups is just absolute family. There's a couple of things here. This masculine might be single with no children. This masculine might be distanced from his family. Either way, this masculine here feels alone, and he could feel like the black sheep in his family. I have a feeling you guys have that in fucking common. Feel like black sheeps in your family. I have no goddamn doubt that that's going to be something you both have in common. Let's do my midnight hour, okay? Don't forget, I did record a new erotica tarot reading. It's called When I Think About You, I Touch Myself. The same place you go to rent my extendeds for these readings is the same place you're going to find it. Just go further down in the pages, further down here. So scroll up and it's going to be there for you to rent, okay? We got ritual, spell work, manifest, and magic, secrets, and poison. Did you put a spell on me? Spiritual bath. You got ritual twice. Whatever ritual this is, it feels really ancient and it has something to do with water, taking a bath. We've got the pause button, time off, rest, and relax. So yeah, this connection could definitely be at a standstill right now. Isn't that funny too? Because this is giving kind of like witchy. And then with poison, it's sort of like that's dangerous, right? So there's this stigma to it. But what I find funny is, you know, witches will say things and they'll manifest and pray or say spells. But really it's just like this thing that they're saying, right? It's manifestation. But churches do that too. They light candles. I mean, for Christ's sake, they drink the blood of Jesus and they eat the body of Jesus. Catholics do. It's all the same song sung in different tunes is my point. It's the interpretation of it and how it got perpetuated throughout time. But like we know to be true, Jesus wasn't a Christian. Because there was no such thing as Christianity back then in biblical times. This is why at a higher elevated state, our religion is our intuition. Because we can be able to sniff bullshit out. See, you guys are such a match made in heaven. You're a perfect match. Because I feel like you both go, that don't sound right. Pardon my stomach growling. That doesn't sound right. So someone here is very witchy. They're very spiritual, very magical. They could be, you know, someone who lights candles and what have you, says things, not necessarily spells. I don't give a shit if it's a prayer, a spell, or a manifestation. It's all the same thing. You are asking, believing, and you get ready to receive it. You see why I'm saying it's all the same song sung in different tunes? Bottom of the deck, we've got some kind of a breakthrough coming through here. Hope, discovery, and there she is. There she is, the high priestess. Intuition and divine feminine. But you notice that says secrets, and you have 2 cards here that say secrets. A witch is someone who is connected to the elements and uses the elements to help him or her get what they want. I mean, they just tap into it. It's the same thing as like solar power energy from the sun. Same thing like when we harness the energy of water, right? Windmills, and they've got all these water things. I don't know what the fuck you call it at this very second, but right, they're harnessing the energy of the elements. So whether you pray or whatever else you do, it's kind of the same thing. And I've always said this for years, that I think it's so sad that in history, people have fought wars of religion because of difference of religion. But at the end of the day, it's kind of all the same thing. The bottom line is the same. And you see it even happening today. But this is the thing is in 2025, and most especially after all of our past lives that many of us have had, right? We understand some things that like, wait, if Jesus wasn't a Christian, and if we're supposed to live by Jesus, what did Jesus do? And I don't think it's an accident that the Jesus energy has been really strong and prevalent. I mean, honest to Christ, think about what Jesus would say or do, or how he would react to something. Do you think Jesus would be for division, hate, racism? Do you think he would disregard any human life, no matter where this person's from or what they look like or their tax bracket? No, he wouldn't have. And really, that's the way, isn't it? It's to say, I don't believe in violence. I believe that we should all be able to live freely and have what we need to be happy, but not in the same breath of taking away from people for them to suffer so I have gain. It's like, Jesus wouldn't do that. And he wouldn't say that. And he wouldn't agree with that. You know, people take it too far when they say, well, it's about forgiveness. It's like sometimes people use that as an excuse to condone bad behavior. I don't know. Right now it's so tricky because especially yesterday's reading being the weighing of the heart and the feather and the scales and the witch. This is, you know how when they say all the history professors can pinpoint and predict when something's going to happen again in the future because it's just history repeats itself? I just don't think it's an accident that the witch stuff has come up, and they made me feel like I needed to rewatch Discovery of Witches. And in history, what happened was witches were persecuted and they were accused of things, and some weren't even doing any of the things they were accused of. But because they had different beliefs, and now we know a lot of it was because of successful independent women who owned their own businesses and had their own land. A lot of it was what they are now figuring out is land grabs. But in any case, there was persecution against people because you weren't this, you weren't that. And is that what we're seeing today in modern times? All right, let's get into your extended. If you would like to rent it, go to the comment section below. I'll have it pinned. I really don't have anything else to say. I am super busy with getting the final touches down for my Sedona retreat happening next month in October. I am super busy planning the New York City meet and greet on 11/11. And I'm also super busy with planning my upcoming next year, March, spring equinox Sedona retreat. Yes, I love Sedona. If you've ever been there, you understand why. There's something so ancient about it. There's something so earthy and just free about it. The red rocks just speak to you. It's infused with Native American energy, and it's just so, I just got the chills. It's just so goddamn beautiful there. You know, and Sedona is a very free-spirited, very liberal, very blue city. Arizona is a swing state, right? But Sedona itself is kind of witchy. Like, you see a lot of places that do, you know, metaphysical shit, and you can go buy crystals and do tarot readings, and there's Reiki and all this stuff, right? A lot of healing, sound bath healing and stuff. So if you wonder why I want to do Sedona again already in March, it's because it just calls me in, and it's so healing, and it's so breathtakingly beautiful. The air is just different there. The sunsets are just stunning up against the red rocks. Just everything about it is stunning. So I'm going to be able to see what it looks like in October, in the fall. I get to see it in spring and fall. And so I'm really excited about that, but I've been very busy, okay? All right, I'll see you in the extended. Bye.